So Rackla trades on the TSX, symbol RAK. It's got a market cap, but right now it's trading with about 25 cents. So it's got a market cap of about 15 million. We're exploring in the Tombstone Gold Belt in the Yukon Territory, way over on the eastern side and in the Northwest Territory. So it's sort of on the border of the two territories. We're looking for, intrusive hosted gold deposits, very large discoveries such as snowlines and banyan gold. So those intrusive hosted or at least intrusive generated gold deposits, usually in the bulk mineable half a gram to 2 gram range, kind of easy mineable deposits. The company was a spin out from I run a group of gold companies called the Gold Group. We have 3 companies: Radius Gold, Volcanic, and Rackla. And Rackla was a spin out from Radius about 8 years ago. So we acquired some properties in the Yukon, looking for Carlin style mineralization. And we have staked a bunch of ground, optioned it off, and then the company wasn't successful, so the company became a shell in the office. And then last year, in the summer of last year, I saw the results that Snowline Gold was generating with a discovery in the eastern Yukon. I knew the gold belt well, the Tombstone Gold Belt. I lived in Dawson City for quite a number of years and explored on the western side of the Yukon Territory. So when I saw Snowline's results, I began to do a little bit of research and saw that really, some years ago, those kind of results would have created quite a big gold rush, but nobody responded. The market did, but nobody responded as far as acquiring ground in the area goes. So I did some research and saw that further to the east of Snowline, there was a lot of ground owned by other juniors that were inactive or not working the ground. So I did some joint ventures on some properties right along what I'll call them the border intrusives, because they're located right on the border between the Yukon Northwest Territories. We acquired a large land package by some staking and some optioning ground from other companies. And then we financed it and started a program this spring. I mean, it's a remote region, but where we are, there is a road going from the Yukon into the Northwest Territories called the North Canal, and we were able to put a camp on that road and basically explore from that camp. It's expensive exploration, helicopter-supported exploration, but the prize is huge, right? If you can make a discovery along the Snowline scale, then as you can see from their share price right now, the market responds very strongly to that. Well, from my knowledge, when I lived in Yukon previously, it was thought that the Tombstone Gold Belt goes from Alaska. There's a big gold deposit called the Fort Knox in Alaska, and that belt stretches all the way across the Yukon into the Northwest Territories. I guess it was kind of common knowledge that the western side of the belt was gold rich, and the eastern side was gold poor and tungsten rich, because there was a number of large tungsten deposits associated with these same intrusives on the eastern side of the belt. But when I saw Snowline's discovery, it indicated that the eastern side of the belt, where these intrusive bodies continued, was prospective for gold. So hence, I got active very quickly when I saw the results and acquired a large land position covering those intrusive bodies. There was a lot of work done on one area by Newmont from 2017 to 2019. They were looking for Carlin-style gold, and they did a lot of work around these intrusives, but not inside them. And they generated a lot of very strong gold anomalies in the streams and in the soils, but they didn't look at the intrusive rocks at all. And Snowline's discovery is within the intrusive itself. So I've got all that data from Newmont and from other companies that had worked looking at the sedimentary rocks, but nobody had really worked inside the intrusive. So I had all the data to work from, stream sediment anomalies indicating where to go looking. So I put together a large team that of young geos that could climb, walk, prospect. Boots on the ground is how you make these discoveries, following up these anomalies. And it's pretty rugged country. So I got a good team of young, energetic geologists, and to run it, I employed a gentleman called Scott Castleman, a geologist that's worked in the Yukon for many years. Scott was the head of the Geological Survey of the Yukon for the last 7 years, so he knows the rocks well, he knows the country well, he knows how to operate. He worked with the indigenous groups. He's very, very knowledgeable and very skillful at exactly what the company needed. So, he put together the whole team of people, and we started working in June. To date, we've drilled about 3,000 meters, and we took a bit of a different approach. The market wants drilling, so we had a lot of stream geochem sampling that was, identifying where the target areas were. So we got boots on the ground, following those anomalies up, identifying targets by color sampling and soil sampling, and then basically drilled. Where we found outcropping veins within the intrusive, we drilled. So we identified 10 or 15 different target areas, but over the course of June and July, and then started drilling mid-July, and we put 1 or 2 holes into each of these targets. We haven't got any results back yet because I wanted to get a complete program done on all of the different target areas, and then compile the results this fall, and then plan for a much bigger program next year. So over the next few months, we'll see a flow of results coming from the drilling that we've done, and then we'll be compiling that over the winter, and then head back into the area. Hopefully June. Hopefully we can get in May next year, because we've got a camp established. We put in a camp that will stay over the winter. It'll survive the winter weather, right? So we can get in earlier next year, and hopefully with a much bigger drill program, focusing on some of the targets we've identified by this year's drilling. Yeah, well, the last drill hole finished this morning, so now obviously they've got to get the drill out of camp and get the people out of camp over the next couple of weeks, and then the results will start flowing in from that point on. Well, the goals were to identify areas within the intrusive where we've got these sheeted veins that are carrying gold, and there's a very specific signature to these type of gold deposits. Is gold bismuth plus or minus arsenic and antimony. So through the sampling we had done that had been done by previous operators, and the work we did ourselves, we identified areas where the bismuth was we had a sheeted veining with bismuth and arsenic in, and we drilled those targets. And as I said, we just put in one or two drill holes in each of the targets we identified. We didn't get to all of the areas. We staked. We have the Astro property, the Hit property, the Serre property, and several others. And as the season is quite short, we only got to 3 of the target areas. So we drilled on the Astro, and we drilled on the Hit, and we didn't get to the other properties yet. We got there as far as doing the prospecting goes, but we didn't get the drill there yet. So we have some other drill targets on other targets to do next year, but I do feel from the core we've seen, and from the geologist descriptions of the core, that we've identified some very good targets for next year. Of course, we're pending results, but it looks good so far. Well, it is rugged country. It's expensive exploration for sure. We helicopter supported drilling. If you take a look at the website, basically you'll see the photographs of the rig sitting on mountaintops. So it is expensive, but it's beautiful country. We love working there, and it is remote, no doubt. Well, as I said, we got all the drill holes done. We drilled 3,000 meters and tested probably 7 or 10 different target areas. Those results will be coming in over the next few months, so there'll be a steady flow of news on those results. Hopefully we'll see some great results on that obviously we don't know. And then compiling all that data and preparing a program for next year. Well, basically, the target we're looking for here are very large. We've just, if you see some good broad intercepts of low-grade mineralization, then it's a great sign that we've got a good target for next year. I've just completed the financing, or just completing one. It'll close next week. So we have financed for at least the initial part of next year's program. The stock is trading below the financing price. It's trading at about 24 cents. So I think you know, be very cheap for the ground position we have and the targets we're looking at. No, I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
Okay.